as track goes live, we will actually. I'm going to be joined by Biggles in a little bit. He's going to be here in about 5 minutes or so. But yeah, I won't be alone for the chaos that is about to happen. Again, it is Vegas. It is a new track. It is a new surface because they've really repaved these roads for the Grand Prix. And on top of that, it is a cold surface, a cold night here. Let me see. The temperature right now is 14 degrees Fahrenheit. And Blue Man Group has just invaded the F1 broadcast. For those who don't know, they are a performance troupe.
Yes, welcome. Are
you there now?
Yes, sir. I'm here. Hello, welcome.
Yeah, welcome back, Biggles.
Yes, I've been covered by paint by the Blue Man Group many years ago when I did live in Las Vegas. So I'm back here again in Las Vegas, of course, in the virtual world. It's entertainment capital, and to see these cars screaming 200 miles an hour around the famous Las Vegas Boulevard and the many of the streets and casinos and including the Dome. What an entertainment show it will be. What about the actual racing will be? Of course, it's the first time we're going to find out, isn't it, in the whole weekend, how a Formula One car handles this brand new racetrack.
Now, they're talking about a lot of things that I've read online basically are referring that this track is going to drive in a lot of ways like Monza. It has got a high-speed straights. It's got a lot. It's built with Monza in mind for that speed, particularly the bottom half of the sector 3, basically sector 2 and last half of sector 2 and sector 3 to the end. You've got that long straight onto the strip. We're going to see really fast speeds. We could break. There are a couple of people who think that we could break the fastest. How fast? So we know that Bottas is the fastest record. Is the record for the fastest on a track. That could be broken on this track, just given how it's laid out. The way I've been describing it is that this is as much as you're going to see like an oval track. So here in the United States, we have a tradition of oval racing, and oval racing it's about power and speed. And so like Indianapolis, basically like the fastest that Bottas went is a average pole in Indianapolis today. It actually would not get you pole today at Indianapolis 500. So this track is going to get that particularly that straight, the bottom half of the peg, as we may refer to it as. That's going to be really, really fast. We are under 5 minutes to go before green lights, and this is crazy, man. The one thing that is that we would say is that it's like Monza. They refer to Monza with brick walls around it, which, as it being a street course, that's what we're dealing with.
Absolutely,
Do you have any insight?
Not much of a runoff area at all. So yes, it's going to be interesting to see how these cars are going to be able to pan out. Exit some of those corners specifically. If anybody has played the F1 racing games, then you're going to be well aware of some of the tricky locations that you can easily bin it into the fence. Could be very much game over. They're going to take their time, no doubt. You would expect here. Get a feel for the track there. Green track. I don't have any support races, remember, here, because I have to close the actual strip down, regular streets, close them down just a few hours prior to the race event occurring, of course, in the practice events. And then they reopen the streets again after in the early hours of the morning. So that's going to be interesting. What about those tire compounds? They're going to use the softest, aren't they, this weekend, of course? C5, C4, C3?
That's the softest. And that does make sense. I think that makes sense because ultimately they just repaved this course. They repaved all for the course. Again, track temperature right now is 64 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 18 degrees. The air temperature is actually 2 degrees lower, which is what you can expect at night. Air temperature will be a little bit lower than track temperature. So this is one of the big things. We have no clue what to expect. Horner has been noted already as saying it's like driving on ice. That may be an exaggeration for Red Bull, but we really don't know how these tires are going to perform in this cold temperature.
And it can get cold here. When I used to live in Vegas back in the day, I actually came outside one of the houses just in a few suburbs away from the main strip there. And there was snow on the very surface of the lawn outside the house. You don't get that in the strip area because it's far too hot inside of there. But there was some surface snow just on a very, very chilled, cold morning. But you're not going to expect anything like snow falling on the circuit, especially once again with the heat of Las Vegas. It's very, very quite warm near all the buildings and all the machines, and certainly considering the F1 circuits has come to town at the moment with all the lighting equipment and everything like that, all generates heat. Packed grandstands. I think I'm not quite sure what the actual audience attendance is, but it's going to be certainly a lot of people. And a lot of Americans, I presume here, people from the United States of America are going, what is F1? I'm still getting used to F1. And well, guess what? If they're lucky to get some tickets here this evening, to watch at least any of the events this weekend, they're going to be in for a blast. It's already over the national television, of course. You're shutting down one of the largest cities in the United States of America, entertainment capitals of the world, to put on an F1 show. That's a remarkable achievement.
It is like even just looking at the details that they put into the track, like the curbs have the card faces, the card suits on the alternating on the red and white curves. Some of the lines have neon colors. This is crazy. Like I knew this was going to be spectacle already just by what you can see around the track, the strip, the sphere. The sphere actually is a new element that I did not expect. That is very visible from the track. It will be visible on screen. This is going to be crazy in terms of this. Just as a spectacle, this is going to be crazy.
And Formula One has control, and I know a lot of that as well. So it's this weekend. So they're going to be continuing to put the lights up right there, probably safety cars. Yes. We got cars coming out in track, I believe, at the moment, if I'm not mistaken. Our very first drivers for the season.
So they just did a countdown on the sphere for the green flag. And they are doing some sort of animation. I don't know what it is. We can only see the top of the dome.
Yeah.
They just did did a countdown to the green flag for FP1. So we are now running, and the Alpines look like one of the first to get out.
Yes.
One of the things that is interesting is that we do have the markings, the regular road markings on the course. And that is, if there's any condensation, those are going to be really slick. They're going to be dangerous. And it did rain last night.
Yeah, it did. It rained, and as it is little rain. Yes, exactly. Little green. Then again, there's lots of traffic and stuff like that goes through Las Vegas Strip and other parts. Not sure if a whole track is completely open during the regular daytime session. Of course, it gets hot during the day. Well, kind of cold and hot, depending on if you've got cloud cover or not if you live in Las Vegas. But they're going to be out. Soft tires have gone out. A couple of drivers on hard tires and mediums. And expect these times, of course, absolutely to tumble. They're going to take it very easy. The last thing you want to be doing, of course, is slamming the car into the fence on the very first part of the practice session. And then, therefore, your mechanics going to have to do a lot of work to get to your car ready for the next practice session and so forth. So they'll be taking this very gingerly, like driving on ice, I presume that you were set out there. So any predictions out there very, very early, of course, as to who do you think is going to come out on top of this free practice session? And once again, I don't think that you can necessarily see somebody like Max Verstappen up the top or something like that at this point on this free practice session just yet.
He's coming out right now. The question is Max. So Max is going to be a good benchmark of what to expect, because he may go around twice. Like one of the questions is he going to go around multiple times to get temperature into the tires, and then do a flying lap? That's one of the big questions I've got. We'll find out. Ooh, we're wiggle off of Max going around already.
This would be absolutely exciting, isn't it, being the grandstand? So this is exciting because you're witnessing for the very first time since many, many years ago, and we're looking at the dome there. They've got the big giant dome there, the LED dome. On the inside, remember, it's full of LED lights as well, too. But at the moment, you're only focusing on the outside. The drivers are wondering because drivers, if you do know in the past, always like to, when they get a chance, believe it or not, they always like to see themselves on those screens, of course, or those video screens that they have planted all around the track. I wonder how much the dome is going to be distracting them. Although, as well as, of course, those LED screens that are in front of all the hotels and casinos are down the strip. I think at some point they might be very restricted as to what they'll be showing on there to not throw the drivers off and stuff like that. But we're going to very soon see those speeds. Yeah, once again, can they be broken? Of course, the cold, the conditions. But then again, they don't have the elevation height that they do of Mexico City. But you just never know what this strip is going to produce.
One of the nice so one of the things that F1 TV has done is they actually have labeled the strip on the map. That's actually a nice little there's a lot of little polish features that they've put in all over the place, whether it's on the track and presentation. F1 has done a lot of work on just this event alone, and it's showing, and it's a spectacle. So I think Max is now doing a flying lap now.
Yeah. Anybody want to see the track map that you have up? We have up on the current screen at the moment there, where you come out of the turns. Bear with me on those turns there for a second, but it is the very bottom of the screen that you're looking at on the track map there. So they exit one of those corners and head down straight into the third sector and into the final couple of little chicane twists there into the final corner. So we get used to this track and to the start line finish, and that's the Las Vegas Strip. If you want to know where it is, you'll see it at some point. If you get a chance to watch the highlights, or if any of you are lucky enough to have any of the F1 television or anywhere, you can actually watch it somewhere. Of course, we can't provide those pictures for legal reasons, but we certainly can give you all the racing statistics data and some live commentary, as there's a special livery also for some of the cars this weekend.
So you're going to hear us talk about the Vegas Sphere, and this is essentially a entertainment venue, it's a theater. It is built as a sphere. Again, outside, tons of LED lights that light it up. In terms of where it is on the track, if you look at basically at the top of the track, there is the two legs of the pig. Basically, is on the left side. That left side of the turns. I think it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. It's that loop. They literally are driving around. That loop that they're doing is driving around the sphere. Again, when we talk about the strip, we're talking about the very bottom. Again, the very bottom of the track.
Yes, exactly. You got to bear with us too, as commentators. We're not going to be familiar with this. Charles Leclerc looking like he's going to be straight up the top of the timesheets. Hamilton goes up there. We're going to see these times come in. It's going to be the first times ever a Formula One car's been here since the Caesars Palace car park, but that wasn't even really a racetrack. That was literally just going around a car park. So 48s that they're in, but we can expect a lot more. I wonder what the simulator times have been.
Yeah. I'm not sure what to say in terms of simulator times. Like, this is literally, again, the first time we've seen anything on this track.
Simulator times. Not similar. What were
I
they
don't
doing
know.
Simulators?
I don't know. I don't know about the simulator times. I actually don't know.
If anybody out there in the chat, please let us know.
But one of the things going on, again, this is not the first time they've raced in Vegas. Like, as we mentioned, the previous racetrack was in, I believe, Caesars Palace Car Park. That is where the Bellagio now stands. That's where that track was. So they've built another facility where that car park was.
Hamilton getting a tow down the Las Vegas Boulevard, I believe it is. Yes, they're going to Las Vegas Boulevard. And that is with the DRS activation, of course, as well as one of the Red Bulls, because they can turn the DRS activation on anytime they want during the DRS activation zones during practice sessions. And that was interesting to see both of those drivers using the DRS, because you don't do that generally in a race, of course, unless there's 1 second up the road there. Charles Leclerc on top of 44, so those times are tumbling thick and fast. I'm wondering just what they're going to get into the third. I'm pretty sure they're going to get the 30s for sure, considering the pace that they're dropping.
They just got into the 140.9.
There you have it.
Racing, as someone has said. Someone's asking about the air zones. They are basically turns 4 to 5. That's the top section of the track between the big legs, essentially. That's where one DRS zone, and the other one is the strip itself. So that is, we have a flag in sector 3. It's still up. Ooh, that's nice. We've got a visual.
That's an unusual place to have it must be a caution.
Something on the strip.
Yeah, there has to be. I don't see any cars in the fence or anything. And that's at the end of it. You can see it. Well, it's at the end of the Las Vegas Strip before you go into turns 14. And you wouldn't be losing it there.
Yeah.
You'd enter into 14, 15, 16 where they'd lose it. So that might be, we'll find out.
Take a
But
look.
maybe Lando's reported something.
So we see Lando bouncing over curbs. So that's
Oh,
not.
Carlos Sainz is, I think it's because the car's slowed down. I think it might be Carlos. I think Carlos' car is stricken somewhere down the very end of the Las Vegas Boulevard. Maybe he stopped in there and he says he wants to roll the
Oh,
roulette
he
table.
stopped.
Yeah. So no damage to the car physically. That is a technical fault with the
Red
Ferrari.
flag.
Yeah.
So for those who are curious, my counter is now at 2.
No, that's definitely a technical issue because there's no physical damage whatsoever. And plus, he's right at the end of Las Vegas Boulevard. The only way you're going to have contact with somebody there is if you try to do an overtake.
So what happened? Let's take a look at.
Oh, they're showing the Ferrari mechanics. Look at that right at one point. Looking pretty puzzled themselves at the moment as they're looking at just at the stricken Ferrari. Okay. It's right at the end, at the very bottom of your track map that you can see there, just before the little kink in the corner before you start on the main back straight. And it's just stricken there at the moment. So they've red flagged the session. I guess they don't want to gamble with the fact of any dramas early in the practice session.
And that's practice. So
it's right in front of the Bellagio too, the Bellagio fountains, which they're not running. Yeah. Curiously enough, at the moment during the practice sessions. I've stayed at the Bellagio, stayed in Paris. And,
well, they won't be running because there's a grandstand on top of the.
Oh, well, it's behind still, but yeah, I know. I mean, the water could splash onto the track and stuff like that too. It does spray quite a bit. But anyway, he's going to get out of the car at the moment. I waited till everybody passed by. So there's our first bit of entertainment per se, and it's, well, unfortunate, isn't it? Because Grash, teams are going to need as much practice as possible, aren't they? Because they have zero data to go from in history or past.
So I'm not sure what happened with the car. There was, we can try and bounce back a little bit again.
Thank you. The Bellagio and the volcano won't run all weekend. Yes, okay, I get it. The fountains, I'd imagine. The volcano, I think it wasn't working anyway just before. Anyway, they're doing some repairs to that. But if you get a chance to see all that in Las Vegas, it's a lot of fun. I wouldn't do it on Formula One weekend. Just too crazy, too expensive, and crazy too much. Unless you got your tickets to see the Formula One, but otherwise, explore Vegas when it's a lot cheaper. Go ahead.
So Sainz got on the straight and looked like the back of his car bounced up. And then next thing you know, he's stopped on the side of the course.
Oh, this is another thing I'm curious about. Is anybody answer me at that? Because what I love about Racing Statistic Channel, of course, is that everybody's so much in the data. There was something about there are those manholes, okay, the potholes covers. Now, that's curious whether or not that somebody was informing yesterday that they weren't welded down. We've seen that problem, haven't we, in Baku and other races when they drive over them. Depending if they are on the racing line or not, we don't know. But I'm just curious if anybody's ever found out about those, as we're just seeing some helicopter pictures of Carlos walking back off the side of the track there, still with the stricken car. And we'll get an idea, I guess, when they pan to down into those garages and see what sort of celebrities will turn up. Because we know that in the introduction show, didn't we? The crazy concert event, essentially, they had for the launch party yesterday. There's a lot of performers and actors and stuff like that are here this weekend. So we'll see.
So again, those who are just showing up right now, basically we are 12 minutes into the session already, and we have a red flag because Carlos Sainz, he did not crash. Something happened with his car. There was an odd bounce. So looking from his onboard at the time, he had an odd bounce in the back of his car, and next thing you know, he was done. He had gotten up to 8th gear.
So
and there was an odd bounce.
A suspension brake then, perhaps? Because remember, the Las Vegas Boulevard's quite bumpy, actually, in some places, even though they resurfaced it. But that seems like a suspension brake or something, isn't it? If you said straight after a bounce. Is it porpoising? And I think they got rid of that actually. Let's start showing the pictures around there of a very, very it looks like a pretty sold out grandstands at the moment there as well, Grash, which is not something you usually get in a lot of Formula One races on the practice sessions on Thursdays. So, and again, you are in Las Vegas. It's interesting. Some of the liveries that are on the cars are fantastic. Looking at the Williams livery at the moment, they got a big Las Vegas sign all over it there. Of course, Logan Sargent will be getting into it, being the only driver on the Formula One grid. He gets to enjoy 3 motor races this year in his own country. Of course, not many drivers around the world get an opportunity to do that. Adrian Newey, looking at pictures of him looking over the Red Bull cars at the moment on the timing tower. You do have Charles Leclerc, I think, as the quickest at a 40.9.
He's the only one who's done a 140 at this point.
Lap, yeah.
We've got Haas, and this is interesting. Haas is 2 and 3 right now. I mean, the Haas's are basically a Ferrari, like they're knockoff Ferraris, if you pardon my expression there. If Ferrari's doing really well on this course, Haas should be doing really well. We really haven't seen Albon, or Sargent has not come out yet. Albon's only done 2 laps. That's another car that is interesting to see when they get running. They could be really be fast on this track as well. So those are we think these cars are going to be fast. Are they actually going to be fast? As it stands right now, Max has done a 144.397 fourth. He's about a tenth off of Magnussen, a little more than a tenth. And then Perez is at 9th. Interesting. Noda's 8th and Ricardo's 13th right now. And again, it's still early with these practice times, and we only had, like 10 minutes before we got Carlos causing an incident.
Yeah, about 3
again,
laps,
people who are showing up right now. Again, I want to thank everyone who got 2,681, almost 2,700 right now, over 4 likes. Again, this is the YouTube Racing Institute YouTube channel. This is Grash and Biggles with you right now. Ooh, which
and 400 likes. Thank you. Yes, exactly. Another livery we're looking at the moment there with basically like a gambling, lots of casino stuff, the liveries on the cars. Red flag station was caused by a stricken Ferrari down Las Vegas Boulevard just before after the final sector, just before turns 14, 15, and 16. There's only 17 turns total here. And it looked like, as you said, Grash, went over a bump there and just slowed the car down. Something broke, or the engine just completely something. Or they told the driver to just turn the engine off for safety. Of course, you don't want to be damaging anything only on your first practice session. You have plenty of time to fix it. Maybe swap your unit out. Who knows? Drivers are sitting in their cars right now, willing and eager, of course, to get back out and get some damn practice in. Apologize for the language of damn, but they want to get practice in because they haven't had any. They've only had a handful of laps. Even Logan Sargent hasn't even been out on the track yet. And this is his home track, of course, 1 of 3. So I want to see something happening. No driver, don't take Grash at all. Not want to get practice on a new track.
Yeah, I definitely want. When we look at Sargent in the American races, Miami is his true home race. He's from Florida.
That's right. Lives only around a corner from there too. Yeah.
We got a weird Gundam in the AlphaTauri.
That's a Transformer or something, isn't it? I don't know. Anyway.
It's Gundam. No, it's Gundam.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's a Gundam behind Yuki Tsunoda's car. Go figure.
Yes, it is. You're right, actually. A lot of drivers supporting new helmets. You'll see the pictures out there. If you don't, you'll be able to find all the highlights and that sort of stuff online if you don't have the luxury of seeing the pictures live. And a lot of us don't, because it costs.
We've been trying to as we've been finding that information, like the deliveries and whatnot. We've been trying to post that into our Discord channel, and that's a good. Those of you who are new to the channel, we do have a Discord channel. We are active talking about stuff, news, whatnot. Again, as we found new liveries, helmets. Basically, we were throwing those information into our Discord channel.
Oh, they're running the fountains.
One of the
Sorry to cut you off.
They are running the fountains.
Yeah, but only during when the track's not running. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, the Discord link's up there too, by the way. So click on that one. Just posted, of course, by a fantastic owner of this channel. Yeah, I think they'll run them during when things aren't running. Go ahead.
One of the interesting helmets is our friend SD Bestie, Esteban Ocon, has a Deadpool-inspired helmet, which he did show off to Ryan Reynolds, who is a now investor in Alpine.
Oh, hang on. Yes, you're right. Exactly. Of course, it's one of the sponsors this weekend for a new movie that's coming out. Well, exactly. Another movie coming out. Yeah, the fountains are running. They are inspecting something at the track. I did see a pothole cover nearby as well on a helicopter cam.
That's interesting.
So I'm wondering, but they're inspecting something on the track while we're under this red flag conditions. I think they've already removed the Ferrari. If you're tuning in at the moment there and you're wondering why we're in a red flag condition, no crashed car or anything like that. Just a Ferrari that's something's broken on it or whatever. He's pulled off to the side down the Las Vegas Boulevard and thus red flagged the session. But I think red flagging the session also is indicated to me because they could have pulled that Ferrari back. It was off the racing line in there safely and continue with the session under caution. However, I think that they've discovered something on the track that may have caused a problem. Yeah. Exactly. That they're now investigating.
That is interesting. Let me...
If anybody knows, please let us know. I think we're only getting as much information as anybody else is because race control aren't going to tell us in the public what it's all going on just yet. They're talking to the teams. I think it's some bump or something on there because if they're inspecting the track right now specifically, there's
I'm actually pulling up the commentary from the live timing, see if they say anything here.
If anybody's down there, I don't think you can actually walk next to that part of the track, and neither you could see anyway. It's all blocked off. If you are on that Las Vegas Boulevard, you won't be able to see anything, unfortunately. They've blocked everything. Unless you've got a ticket, essentially, you will not be able to see. You couldn't stand right next to, even if you did have a ticket, a general admission ticket that you can generally walk around most tracks, you could probably sit there and just take a photo. But
so what they're basically, the onboard show, again, after that, there was that bounce. They showed a message to stop the car immediately on this dashboard. On the steering wheel of the dashboard.
That's for sure. Then you wouldn't tell them stop the car immediately.
Other than that, we have no other information other something did happen. We've got 20 minutes into the session right now. Again, we are right now waiting for this track to go green.
Session will not be resumed. Whoa. Am I just getting that message right now? Session will not be resumed. That is, we have 40 minutes remaining. And they are not going to resume that session. This is critical. Remember, this is not a track where you can just delay it. You know, there's businesses and everything that need to reopen in the morning, and everything needs to be back into a regular day shift.
Whoa.
So that's big. That's big. Something on the Las Vegas Boulevard Strip has caused a problem with the track, and they have obviously determined there's not enough time for them to fix it during this session. When is our next free practice session, if you don't mind? How much time do they have? We're talking of this is very early in the morning too. That is a big one to be cancelled. Yes. No, the entire race won't be cancelled. No way. They'll get that fixed. Trust me. They put so much money and effort into this. They will have a team of people fixing it. But
so something has happened. We don't know what has happened as of yet.
Yeah, we do know it's canceled now.
The session is canceled.
Yes.
This session is canceled. We're not sure why the session will not be resumed as of yet.
Steve,
that we'll learn pretty quickly.
Yes.
While we have a chance, I can bring up basically because I'm looking at
exactly. They're just showing pictures of the strip. There is a bunch of cars currently at the moment inspecting something on that on the track, and they are inspecting it just outside the kink, and it's called turn 13 as it goes down to the final couple of little S's of turn 14. Now, is that in front of the Paris? I think it's similar to the Paris Hotel, the Hotel Paris across from the Bellagio, not too far from that. So they're inspecting something.
What we're getting right now, race control says session won't resume, presumably while the track of the set is checked where Sainz had his issue. So something they did not expect happened with Sainz. And that's something, again, like I said, like when we looked at the onboard, I saw a bounce, and the next thing you know, he's basically being told to pull over.
Bush says out there, just put a cone there. I love that, exactly. So they drive around it. But they've got to realize that the reason why they're going to take this very seriously down the Las Vegas Boulevard is because that is a high speed section before you're going to get into a heavy braking zone and an overtaking before you down into the final corners before you go up into the start another lap. And that's where you're going to have the DRS open. And you're going to have probably even 3 abreast cars sometimes, or they could be planning to have 3 abreast, which means they're going to use up most of the track. And perhaps where Carlos was off, even if it's off the racing line, it doesn't matter. It's the fact that there's a good chance that something's happened. And if race control have deemed it to be unsafe and need to investigate it, then that's obviously something they deem as serious. And that's probably a great idea, isn't it, Grash, considering they're going to be in excess of 200 miles an hour, the DRS open down that part of the track. You want to make sure it's going to be safe.
Like 230. They're close to
230.
They're going to be close to 230 on that part of the track.
And we could be a pothole.
So,
you're right. I did see manholes. Sorry, not potholes, manholes. I did see manholes nearby there. That was something that was mentioned by a few people that have attended a lot of Formula One Grand Prix in the past. YouTube celebrities and stuff like that.
Is asking what happened to Sargent. Sargent was not able to get onto track. Basically, we ran for about 8 minutes, and Carlos Sainz had an issue with his car. And so basically, Logan did not get out of the pits, essentially.
Yeah, it didn't have enough time. How much racing time did we actually have? Well, practice session time. I think give or take, you only had 8 minutes. 8 minutes. Yeah, that's 3 laps.
They're saying about 8 minutes.
2 an out lap, maybe a semi-fast lap. It wasn't even a really great hot lap, I'd say, for a lot of people, and then a cool down lap, and that was it. So really, we've had no serious free practice running to even indicate any of the times so far that will be practically useful, and the teams for the data. I didn't see any flow paint at all on any of the cars, Grash. Did you notice any of that?
Big news. Esteban's chassis is broken.
What's sorry?
Esteban.com's chassis is broken. It's just reported on F1 TV. They did not pave over the manholes. They've got an issue with they are saying that a manhole may have kicked up.
Ah, yes, okay. I guess that because I was talking about that. Why are these people that report on F1 regularly all the time? They're saying, "Hey, those manhole covers need to be welded down." We've saw that with Baku in the past, and maybe there's an issue with the Las Vegas, community, the Nevada Council or whatever that says, well, they're going to have to go through some sort of laws and regulations for that. I don't know. But it's caused an issue, and the session will not be resumed. Everybody that has tuned in, and thank you for tuning in, of course. And we're all excited for Las Vegas's first inaugural race ever. And we've already done it. Las Vegas is going to produce some dilemma, and I can guarantee you that, as Las Vegas does. But hey, what happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas, right? So we won't talk about that potential manhole cover problem if that is the case. For now,
what we know is that they did wheel down the manhole covers. It just looked like they didn't get it down hard enough. We will find out more between now. So session basically now session will not resume due to track repairs. So they're now going over the track. Go figure this would happen. So they're going to go through. They're going to go through the track and check all the manhole covers. So the next session right now. So it is basically 11. Almost it's 3 minutes to 11 p.m. in Central Time, USA. The next session, FP2, will be in 3 hours. So they've got 3 hours to basically go over. They're going to take the next 3 hours to go over the track. We will be back. Will they actually, not 2 hours. They have got 3 hours to get it done. They should this is something that they should be able to get done in the next 3 hours.
I believe they will. They will. They have a team. They have a lot of money invested in this, don't they? There's a team of crew. They're going to get construct. I mean, Las Vegas is a construction town anyway, even when Formula One's not in there. So trust me, they have a lot of people. I've lived here in Las Vegas. They have a lot of people around there. They're going to be out there just doing work tooth and nail for 3 hours and get it done.
So, No, it's not 3 hours to fix the road. 3 hours to FP2.
Right. Okay. So yeah,
So
I mean
so
that's yeah.
that's why we're saying 3 hours, because it's now we've got the clock to FP2, which is in 3 hours from now. So
Yeah.
yeah, basically normally we would have been 2.5 hours after FP1, but we're only halfway. What would be halfway through would have been the session. So we've got 3 hours to go when FP2. So 2 hours from now. So 2 hours from now, we will be live again. We'll be playing music as we usually do before we come back on. Yeah, this is pretty crazy as we're
It's
dealing with right
Vegas.
now.
All we can do is sing a bit of Elvis, right? And well, I tell you what, Formula One's gambled in Las Vegas, and the streets have not actually paid off at the moment. So that is a fold at the point. The track is folded, but everybody else is still going to be laying their cards back out there on the track. So thank you everybody for tuning in and enjoying it. It's been a little short adventure so far, but we got to see a couple of cars on the track for the very first time in Las Vegas since back in the 80s, and well, safety first. And I agree with the Formula One, obviously FIA. Get that sorted out and get that resolved quickly. Don't want to be stopping qualifying sessions or race sessions due to it. So that's why I practice.
So to bringing me more information, I'm getting something from F1 right now. They're saying that it is an issue with a drain cover, not just not a manhole cover, but a drain cover. And they note that we've seen this type of issue at Baku and Monaco before.
They got to weld them, right? They have to weld them because that's what they had to do.
They're gonna do something.
Yeah. You can't take them off. You have to weld them. And they couldn't tar them in time. I don't think you could. You'd have to tarmac them over. And the thing is, too, you have to get permission. Remember you have to get permission from the Las Vegas, county. You can't just be going to do anything, even though you are a Formula One and you don't own the roads. The roads are still owned by the city.
Yeah.
So they have to also file that paperwork.
I would assume that there is some sort of representative of the state, the local government / state, any government some government representative is there live. For this occurrence.
Yeah, but they get town meetings, remember? It also doesn't decide by one person. Anyway, I don't know. I do not know.
So it is confirmed that they have to change. Ocon's chassis needs to be changed. It's from damage from suspected drain cover on the track. So we've had 2 cars damaged here at Vegas already.
Did you say Ocon? You mean Leclerc? I mean, sorry, Carlos.
Ocon, Alpine. Yeah, we've got
Alpine
2 cars damaged.
As well. Wow, I did not know that.
So we've got 2 cars damaged from this.
Now this is also interesting, Grash. I want to ask you that. Now, because the track damages the car, does that mean that they then could replace a certain part of the car, say gearbox or something, or an EKU or system that potentially is damaged that they're not allowed to change? But how does that pan out in the rules if the track itself is caused to deem to be unsafe and it's damaged the car? That's got to be something, isn't it? Like whatever damage you
that is something. We know that the FIA is on track is investigating what's going on. I know that they know they've got representatives to look at the damage suffered by Sainz Ferrari. They'll probably take a look at Ocon's car as well, for the obvious reason as well. I would think that because something happened with the track, that caused the damage to the car was caused by the track.
Yes.
And so it's not the team's fault. I would expect there's some sort of mechanic in there, to account for this.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It would be fair, wouldn't it?
I don't know. I'm going to say I'm not 100%, but given how the FIA has rules and stuff, this would be accounted for in some way.
Yeah, but remember, other teams can still oppose it anyway and say it's the risks you take on the track anyway. That's what they always do in politics. Do we see 2 FIA representatives there, one holding up a cell phone looking at the actual incident before? I don't know.
I think, but it's like, was it was someone big? But moving on. All right, so I'm looking at F1 TV is doing the session results, and we've got Leclerc, Nico Hulkenberg, and Magnussen on the top of the leaderboard after 8 minutes. All right, we are going to take. So basically, Biggles, are you going to come back for FP2?
You know what? I'm pretty much pumped up and excited for it for sure because I want to see these cars go around the track. So I think so. Yeah. I mean, as everybody else, I know some people are talking about they have to go to work, so they have to go to school. It's late in certain parts of the world. Yeah, you know what, Gresh?
Yeah.
Why not? Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. So we will be back in about 2 hours with music. After we go off, we're probably going to be some music here for you, for those who want to stay. After the session ends, basically our stream ends, you'll be able to take into the FP2 stream session. So we'll, again, 2 hours, we'll be back with music. About sometime just before 2 a.m. Central, basically. So this will be about 2 hours and 45 minutes ish from now. I will be back. Me and Beagles will be back live with the start of commentary. At that time, we'll be going over what we'll be looking at what has happened, and what we'll have more information for you when FP2 starts. Again, we've hit a red flag that has caused the damage to the track. There's an issue on the track that has caused a red flag. Carlos Sainz's car was the primary reason that brought out the red flag, but we also know that Esteban Ocon's car has damage and his chassis will be changed. So basically, we're ending the stream basically about right now. We'll be back again. This is the Racing 66 YouTube channel.
The Discord.
Want to thank those.
Follow the Discord.
Yeah, jump onto the Discord. Yeah,
we can chat about it there.
We'll chat in there. As we get more information, they'll be throwing a lot of information into there. Yeah, This is chaos already. Welcome to Vegas, baby.
Grash, get down there, my friend, and do your investigation. Get down there in pit road and get all that information. Get the Discord chat link up there in a second, so follow that. Grash is on top of that. He's going to find out.
I'll be honest with you. If I was not sick earlier this year, and I want to thank those of you who were, a lot of you who supported me when I was sick in July and August. I want to thank all of you who were there for me. That was huge for me. If I wasn't sick during that time, I could have very easily been in Vegas, and I probably would have gone to Vegas for this. So, yeah. But anyways,
back, my friend. Of course, exactly. MVP man. Yes, Grash. All right, we'll let you have a little bit rest up there. Fine. Let you get your information out there. May everybody follow the Discord, chat about there, post some pictures up of any in the Discord, of course. Any pictures and stuff like that you find at the moment about those potholes, what's going on. It'll help us get informed and everybody else, of course, in the fantastic community here. So, because we're all F1 enthusiasts and fans, we want to know what's going on. Even if you're new to F1, trust me, this is the place you want to be. People that know F1, love F1, and want to know every little nitty gritty is there in the Discord. Join it, and then share your information, share your thoughts and stuff like that, and then be tuned in, of course, for the free practice 2 coming up soon, a couple hours.
All right, everyone. Stay safe, safer than Carlos Sainz and Esteban Ocon. That's horrible. That's too soon. We will see you in a few hours. Those of you who are going to be here, awesome. We'll see you then. If you can't be here, we understand. It's an odd time. Again, for me, it's going to be 2 a.m. in the morning when FP2 starts again. We are, again, red flag right now, but we expect the track will be ready to go when FP2 starts. They should have enough time. If not, we will tell you. If there's a delay, we will tell you. We will have all that information for you just before FP2 starts. So we will see you in about 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours from now. Until then, stay safe, everyone, and we'll see you then.